Friday night is Bendigo Cup night, not just Bendigo Cup night, but a host of feature races and plenty of quality support races as well. And to go through the card with me is a leading broadcaster and will be calling the action on Friday night, Dan Hibberd. How are you, Dan?
Good, mate. Good, Troy. Yeah, very well. It's looking forward to Friday night. It's a ripping card. The support races alongside the Cup are really strong, which is what you want on your Cup night. And, a couple of other races as well that aren't the features, but have got a little bit of intrigue to them as well. So, yeah, really looking forward to Friday night.
Yeah, it's a very good meeting. We kick off maybe with a maiden over the 425, the sports bet Make It Look Easy maiden. Missile Danny broke the 22 seconds at Shepparton despite getting beat on debut. I've gone for it over Dacos Dynasty, My Bro Jill and Determination. How did you see race number one, the maiden?
Yeah, I was probably along similar lines, although I liked Dacos Dynasty's running in the maiden the other day, 24 and 39. Showed really good toe. 6:56 is a really good first split. So if it shows that speed from out wide, it can certainly get across and, if they jam up on its inside, he's probably the one I've picked there. Missile down here. Anytime a maiden can go under 22 at Shep, they've obviously got ability. So I'd say the 7 and the 5 are the two ones, the two key ones there.
Race 2 is the Jared Larkin concreting final. There should have been heats of this mixed 4-5 mixed 6-7, I should say, over 500 metres. There's only enough noms to run a straight out final with $4,000 to the winner. A very open race. I've gone 4, 6, 2 and 1. Your thoughts on race number 2?
Yeah, it's one of those quirky ones. When they don't run the heat, it sort of can make these, it's a straight 6 and 7 and makes it a little bit more challenging if you haven't seen them in that heat. I have to agree. My own voice was a good win at Shep. 25 and 26 is very, very quick, even for maiden class. No luck after that. Front behind, long haul. You'd expect it can bounce back from that. Midnight Rockers got a good win at Shep. 4 runs ago, a couple of placings after that. No luck last time. It's along with a better draw. Might be a chance. So I'll go 4 to beat 2.
Race number 3 is the Batlers Cup Consolation. Of course, there was 12 heats once again Wednesday a week ago now. The 8 fastest heat winners went through to the final with 5,000. The Consolation's worth 3,540 to the winner. It's a pretty good quality Batlers Cup, both the Cup final and the Consolation. I went 8, 4, 2 and 7. Holy Fever running 24-12 from the wide draw, getting beat for Aaron Di Battista for me on top from 4, 2 and 7, but 5 or 6 chances.
Oh, this is a raffle, absolute raffle, and it's expected given that you've got 4 heat winners and 4 fastest seconds. So not surprising some of those fastest seconds did go better time than the winners. But I thought Ruler Galaxy was a really good run in the heat. Went 24 and 33. It's won 7 of 34. It's only had the one win from 3 goes at Bendigo. So it'll need to jump, but it's probably, I think it's the one to beat. I thought Gotham Diva was a good heat winner as well. Did draw the red, goes to the white, but it's still got to be some sort of rough place chance. And I was actually taken a bit by Felonious Screw, who won from the pink in the heat in 24.57, goes to the opposite side in the Consolation, goes to box 1. I thought it was a decent chance as well. So I went 4, 3 and 1.
Race number 4 is the Mennings Greyhound Vic Bred Maiden over a final over the 500 metres, $10,000 to the winner here of the maidens, and your colour room couldn't have been more impressive on debut, and despite going from box 2 to box number 8, is currently a $1.40 favourite with Sportsbet, ahead of dollar signs at $7.50 and Fiorano at a similar price. Those 3 dominate the market. I think your colour room's obviously the one to beat. How did you see it? Yeah,
$1.40's, well,
skinny.
I mean, after the race, we might be saying after the race that it was value. I mean, anytime they get 27.86 first start over 500 at Bendigo is just low flying. I mean, it's crazy speed, crazy times. I know it's drawn the pink, but that shouldn't hurt it. I think it's clearly got above average ability. It's probably just an anchor for what most multis throughout the night. The short quote. The other heat winner, which was Get Ready Dora, went okay, but with 28.42, so it gives you an idea of how much quicker the other winner went. I think it's just a matter. I really think 8 will just win, and whatever you like for second and third, I think he might be a really special talent this one.
Race number 5 is the Battlers Cup Final, the third edition of the Battlers Cup, $5,000 to the winner. I went with Blackpool Hank number 4 to beat 2 Boom Burst, 8 Half Pint and 6 Know His Brother, but not a surprise would exist if any of the 8 runners won the race. And interesting preparation with Boom Burst going from a Battlers Cup heat last Wednesday to a 5.95 at Sandown on Sunday, and then back to the 4.25 final with it adds a little bit more strength. I'm not sure, but I've gone 4, 2, 8 and 6.
Yeah, I really like Boom Burst. I think it's got class on its side compared to its opposition. It has had a run at Sandown on the Sunday, and it's certainly beaten 9.5 by Keane, who's certainly up to city class. The thing that struck me was the fact that it was in the last heat of the day. He went 23.90, which was by far the fastest of the heats. And the fact that we'd had rain all day and the track was severely rain affected by the end of the day, for it to still run the quickest time by some margin, I think it should just be winning this. It just got to jump well enough from the 2. I think it can win. I thought Aston Cassidy, who had run the fastest heat in the previous race before Boomburst came on the scene, I think it's a definite chance from box number 3. But certainly Blackpool Hank's going to be really hard to toss as well. Can get out quickly, and if it does that, it's going to cause a bit of trouble for those on its inside. But I went 2, 3 and 4.
Race number 6 is the Ag Tyres and Wheels Grade 5 over 500 metres. Pretty open race again, I would suggest. I've gone 1, 4, 2 and 6. Xandra Bale on top over Bop Music, Coach Fagan and Louis Zeus. Before I get your numbers there, mate, I'll go through that early market, I suppose, for the Battlers Cup. Sportsbet got the markets up for all of our finals, so the feature finals on Friday night. They've got 250 Boom Burst on top with Blackpool Hank at 450, Aston Cassidy at 480 and On the Run at 650. So race number 6, I went 1, 4, 2 and 6. How did you see it?
Yeah, tricky affair. I tend to agree. The one's probably going to be really hard to toss from that inside draw. Was second at Ballarat from the same draw 4 runs ago. And when you look through the form, it was fourth to Scofflaw, who is a very handy type, and then second to Quebec Bale in a mixed 4 and 5 last time. So gets a few favours. Probably, if anything, might be a bit of a drop in class. I think it's the one to beat. Coach Fagan, they threw him in the deep end in a heat of the Cup last week. He ran 7th, beaten 9 lengths to Orson Mick, way back down in grade. I think those 2 from the inside are going to be the hardest to beat.
Race number 7, the Hip Pocket Bendigo Spring Cup Final over the 660 metres for $10,000 to the winner. Hummock nearly broke a long-standing track record last week in the heat, beating Jimmy Intention by 7.5. Quarter couldn't have been more impressive, leading all the way in a 700 at Sandown, also beating in Jimmy Intention 2 starts back. I think they'll dominate the race. I've gone 4, 2, 8 and 1.
Yeah, 37.49, when you look at the track record and the fact that it's been standing since 2016 gives you an idea of how tough it is to actually get near that record, and he's gone really close. So it's hard to think that the others are going to be able to turn that form around in a week, and if Hummock can reproduce anything near that time, it's going to be really difficult to beat. 4 to win, 2 certainly the hardest to beat. Top Quarter, who's been racing really well, and then Extreme Jewel, who won in 37.67, has got to be some sort of place chance, but the wide draw might make it a bit sticky for it.
Hummock is currently $2.10 with Sportsbet, $3.70 for Extreme Jewel, and $5 for Quarter. They're the only runners under double figures. Race number 8, the feature of the night, the Bendigo Cup Final, the Group 2 Bendigo Cup, $50,000 the winner. Of course, the favourite Typhoon Semi going for another $50,000 bonus, so potentially $100,000 pay night on Friday night. I went for Typhoon Semi, making the best of the heats. He was terrific value at $10 pre-post. He's now a $2.15 favourite, ahead of Panadero Warrior at $4.20, Aston Merritt $5.50, Quinlan Bale $7.50. I went 3, 2, 1 and 6. I just think he's absolutely flying. He obviously loves the joint. Very few dogs can be competitive in the same group race in back-to-back years, and obviously broke the record last year and ran 3rd in the final. I think he can go 2 better and win the final over Quinlan Bale, who was terrific beating Plaintiff in the heat. Aston Merritt will show plenty of pace and give plenty of cheek from the inside. And Panadero Warrior, the fastest heat winner. Very difficult to leave out the fastest heat winner of any of the numbers, but I think he's a multiple chance as well. But 3, 2, 1 and 6 for me. How did you see the Bendigo Cup for 2022?
Yeah, the way the heats ended up panning out, a few of the top seeds didn't sort of get through. Obviously, Typhoon Samuel was one of the pre-post favoured runners, and he got through, and whereas a couple of the other key hopes didn't. And I think it's really opened the race up for him. There was a couple of roughies that won the heats, and I think he was, he's clearly the top seed now of those in the final. He jumped brilliantly from the inside. I don't think Box 3 will have too many issues for him. I think he's clearly the best dog in the race. And his record at Bendigo is, pretty well faultless. 4 starts, 3 wins and a third. I think he'll win. I've got a bit of a soft spot for Quinlan Bale. I think he's a really nice type of dog. 3 starts for 2 wins and a second over this trip. And to beat Plaintiff in a heat was certainly a feather in his cap. I think he can run second. I thought Panadero Warriors run was really strong in the heat as well, beating Titan Blazer. Going to need a little bit of luck from 6, but if it gets it, it can certainly be on the speed. But I think, I think he's going to be awfully difficult to beat here, Typhoon Sammy. If you can get even money about him in the final, it's not a bad price. I just think he's got class on his side.
Pretty impressive night to be thinking you could be giving away $100,000 paycheck to the winner of a race at Bendigo Greyhounds. It's as such as the strength of the industry at the moment. Race number 9, the Shimmer Shine at Stud Cup Night Match Race, $10,000 the winner, $1,500 to the runner-up. Very, very interesting match race here where Robbie Rotten was desperately unlucky in his heat when resuming from a spell, and Titan Blazer, well, we know what Titan Blazer is capable of, and that's pretty much beating anything given the right run. I went 1 to beat 2 simply because I think Robbie Rotten with the inside has got the pace to hold the lead. He went a 10th faster the first mark last week, albeit both of them had checkered passages in the heats, but I think he can hold the lead and win, although in saying that, he wouldn't want Titan Blazer breathing into his ear for too much of the trip. Yeah,
this is going to be a cracker. I think I reckon the margin at the end of it, regardless of who's in front, is probably going to be less than length. I can't imagine that there's going to be too much separating them at the finish. I thought Robbie Rotten's heat run was really strong, considering he was first up since July. He went super to get within a length and a half of He's No Slouch, given the checkered path he had. This will certainly be a bit easier in terms of traffic for him. And if he's fitter than for that run last week, he's going to be really hard to beat. But Titan Blazer's a quality dog. 2 starts for a winner and a second over this trip. Best time's 23.83. Again, if he had had the right sort of luck, he'd be in the cup race instead of the match race. But I went 1 to beat 3, but not a breath between them. I reckon there might only be a neck in it at the finish.
I think the market at the moment has got Robbie Rotten at $2 and Titan Blazer at $180. They'll probably end up $190, $195 each.
I reckon it's as close to a 50-50 call as you can get. And that's what you want in a match race.
Absolutely. They've been popular match races in terms of exciting races and also wagering. I think that Friday night one will be just as popular as any that have been run so far. Race number 10, the Henrahan Plumbing Mix Free 4 over the 500 metres, only a field of 5, but an outstanding field of 5. I've gone for the class runner Equaliser to bounce back after being beaten at odds on a month ago at Bendigo. I think he's the runner to beat. He's nearly won $500,000 in prize money. If he's anywhere near right, he'll be winning. Over 8 Orlando, Lee Moore's grounds are always in the money. He's broken the 28 seconds here. He's had 6 starts at Bendigo for 2 wins and 4 seconds. He was the one that Equaliser has to beat. Weblex Scout for 3rd, El Cazador for 4th.
Pretty much exactly the same. I can't disagree with that. Class should see Equaliser go real close here. Bacon Boxer, it's outside. El Cazador's generally not the quickest out, so every likelihood that he can get across to the lead, and if he gets to the front, it might be just curtains. Orlando's been racing super well. When you look back at last 4 runs, won at Bendigo last time, beating Idolise, but before that, it's raced against Quick Smart, Jungle Panther and Soda Success. And that race of Soda Success was quite incredible that he ran the time that he did in the conditions, and Orlando ran second. So he's really going well. Weblex Scout certainly a chance of running either second or third. Not sure whether he could win it, but it was a good run last time out. And El Cazador, will be coming home at the finish of the race. So those are the top 4. Al Fabio's probably not going as well. Probably a touch of class behind the other 4 in the race.
Race number 11, the Ag Tyres and Wheels Grade 4 over the 425 metres. A terrific Grade 4 this is. I've gone 5, 7, 8 and 1, but it's such a race. When you look through the form line of the winners of the races these greyhounds have been going around in, or even the ones that run second to them, you've got True Kalinda, Typhoon Semi, Titan Blazer, Orson Mick, I'm talking, Scofflaw, Release the Rage. You've got almost cup-type form around all these dogs. But I've gone 5, 7, 8 and 1. I just think Zella Bale, 25-40 at Ballarat, a couple of starts back. Only got about a length and 3/4 to I'm talking, who started favourite or second favourite in one of the cup heats last week. I've gone for it to beat Blue Redeemer, Weston's Bear for third, and Perfect Willow for a bit of value for fourth. Your numbers in race 11?
Yeah, this is a really tough contest, and the form lines are really hard to draw. I'd probably just be having a something each way, and I know they're going to be probably at a decent price. Something each way on 2 Bumpy's Dad Roy, and something on Willpower number 4. Only a couple of, probably more the place than anything, and I know there's only 6 in it. But I just think that those two, they've shown enough at Bendigo that they can certainly bob up without surprising. Bumpy's Dad Roy was third in the heat to Typhoon Sammy, and it had raced against True Kalinda before that. And Willpower's been going reasonably well. He was thrown in the deep end in that Titan Blazer race a few months, sort of back in the middle of September, and then he's run fourth to True Kalinda in a good mix 3 and 4. So he shows a bit of promise. This might be a step too far, but maybe just $1 each way on both of those, because it's a really competitive field. But I do agree that Zella Bale is certainly going to be hard to toss.
And the final event of the night at 10:48 on Friday night, you'll be looking for a nice cosy doona and pillow by then after a couple of wet days and a big race night at Bendigo Cup night, mate. But the Sportsbet BS responsibly takes us home. A grade 5 over 425 metres. You either want to be well and truly in front on the punt by the end of this night, or you could be trying to look to go wide to get out, because it's one of those races again. I think Release the Rage will start favourite, a reasonable dominant favourite, and is the one to beat. But it wouldn't surprise me if 7, 8, 6, 2, maybe even 1 knocks Release the Rage off. But it's one of those races. I just went 4 to beat 7, 8 and 6, but I'd rather be playing wide multis for a bit of fun on the last.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be chasing if you're looking to try and get out here, because this is a raffle, absolute raffle. If forced to pick one, I'm probably going to go with Croker. I know it was a good win at Shepparton, 2 runs going 21 and 90. It was from box 2. It has won a couple of races from box 7 before, so it can win from the outside. Shows enough speed from out there, it might be able to take up a position, but it's just, look, this is just a raffle. It really is a tough, even grade 5 to see out the night, and good luck.
And bet responsibly, as they say. But thanks very much for looking at preview. Good luck with your calling on Friday night. We'll be doing a live coverage commencing about 8:20 on the YouTube channel and possibly Facebook, depending on how the YouTube numbers are looking. But from 8:20, hopefully we can get you to pop in at some stage before the Cup and give your last minute thoughts there to see if you're still with Typhoon, see if you've changed. But it'll be a big night on Friday night. There's live music and entertainment in a bit of an area at the back. Got Merv Hughes as a guest in the Past the Post Lounge in the VIP area. Obviously plenty of room for the general public in Chasers Lounge as well, and 12 outstanding races highlighted by the $50,000 winner, Bendigo Cup, on Friday night. Thanks again, mate, and we'll see you then.
No worries, Troy. Thank you.